This is the Bokel Stadium in Mönchengladbach in West Germany, where tonight at 10:30 we bring you action from the first European final of the season. It's the first leg of the UEFA Cup between two of West Germany's top clubs, Borussia Mönchengladbach, the holders, and Eintracht Frankfurt. Both clubs have a strong reputation for attacking football, and there's a real cup-tie flavour about the night. I believe it's going to be worth your while staying up tonight for this first European final of the season. It's on ITV at 10:30. London that they're going to put the captions up again nearer the kickoff. They promised they would, but that doesn't mean anything. Meanwhile, Eintracht Frankfurt, their best-known player, I suppose, is the number 7 Bernd Holzenbein from Germany's 1974 World Cup team. Defender Bruno Petzai was in Austria's team that beat England 4-3 in Vienna, and he scored twice in the game. Petzai also scored twice in an astonishing 5-1 victory for Eintracht over Bayern Munich in the semi-final of this cup. The number 11, incidentally, Boom Cha, is a South Korean. I would like to see terrible. I don't hear the voice coming back and forth, not as I did in Amsterdam, anyhow. It's like talking. All I can hope we do, London, is that I will do my real intro over when the teams come out, and maybe you can put those team captions in their right place after I've done that. The referee tonight is Emilio Carlos de Curuceto y Muro of Spain. Once again, the things that they promised us at the briefing, London, just haven't come about. One, two, three. Oh, that's better. That's it. Yeah, I'll leave it like that now. So just to recap, London, I'll do a welcome as the teams come onto the pitch, and then I'll pause, and if you want to then cut in the team captions, as I've already given them to you, you can. If they do the team captions again, I will go through my spiel again to save you doubling back on that edit. But for an 8 o'clock start, they're a bit late coming out. As you can see from the clock. Teams coming out now. Question is whether our director will see them. When they start to come out, I'll do my welcome. Heynckes. The Mönchengladbach coach, Jupp Heynckes, only 34 years old. The Mönchengladbach coach, Jupp Heynckes, he's only 34. Referee late. Typically Spanish. So good evening to you from Mönchengladbach in West Germany. The first European final of the season. The first leg of the UEFA Cup final. Borussia Mönchengladbach, the holders, here at home tonight in front of their fans against Eintracht of Frankfurt, who tonight are wearing the all-dark strip of red. With the referee Emilio Carlos Curaceta y Muro, one of the best in Europe and also one with the longest name, with two Spanish linesmen.
Liebe Fans, der nochmalige Hinweis und gleichzeitiger Hinweis an unseren Ordnungsdienst, unbedingt tätig zu werden. Bitte unterlassen Sie das Abbrennen von Feuerwerkskörpern, Raketen und so weiter. Liebe Fans in der Nordkurve, Sie sind hier in der Hauptsache angesprochen. Wir freuen uns über Ihre Bereitschaft, hinter unserer Mannschaft zu stehen, aber gleichzeitig ärgern wir uns über Ihre Maßnahmen, Raketen und Feuerwerkskörper auf das Spielfeld zu werfen.
It begins to look, London, as though you might have to use the earlier team captions over the crowd. In fact, almost certainly you will. And it's Eintracht Frankfurt then who get us away in the all-dark strip of red, attacking the goal to our left. Mönchengladbach, the holders, in white. And I suppose if you're saying to yourself, well, should I stay up late and watch a game between two German sides, then instantly, slight altercation there, involving the number 9 there, Borchers. And the man in trouble is Matthias, the young marker in midfield. Well, that's an unpromising start to the final there. And I was going to say, two sides that play skillful and attractive football is a good reason for staying up and watching them. But we can do without a good deal of that. I've got here with me in the commentary box tonight Tony Woodcock, formerly of Nottingham Forest, the England striker, now playing, of course, for Cologne. Tony, how do you see tonight's battle going? You've played against both clubs recently for Cologne.
Yes, I've played against both teams in the last 2 months, but I'm going to take Gladbach to win tonight.
Well, Gladbach certainly have got a very good home record. They've conceded only 1 goal at home in their European campaign so far. Matthias looks as though he's all right to go on. And that's the Dane Nielsen. The ball cut out, though, for Eintracht Frankfurt there by the number 4, Korbel. This is Hermantraut. And here we are again for Borchers, the number 9. Played in there by Holzenbein. He almost got it at the second go. Hermantraut again. And another good break here, the number 8, Karga. And a shot, hit the crossbar there, and nodded in there in the second time by Bumchar, but a tremendous shot by Eintracht Frankfurt, by cargo that very nearly put Eintracht Frankfurt into the lead with a matter of 2.5 minutes gone. This is Petzai at the back now for Eintracht Frankfurt. A very good start for them. And of course, another good reason for staying up and watching them is that they do play attractive football. In the semi-final, in fact, as I told you, Eintracht Frankfurt beats the famous Bayern Munich side by 5-1. And in an earlier round, Mönchengladbach went to France and beat Saint-Etienne there by 4-1. So both sides know what it is to score goals. In fact, in terms of scoring, their rate of strike is about 2 per game this season. But it has to be said also that they also concede, it seems, about 2 a game. So they know a lot about attacking, but not all that much at the moment about defending. This again is Carsten Nielsen, the Dane. So the number 8 and captain of Mönchengladbach, Kulik. Schaefer to Lienen on the far side, a real orthodox outside left. Schaefer again to Hannes, who's usually the sweeper. And now little Delay, only 8 stone of him. Nicol, who is the chief goal scorer, in fact, some 25 goals this season overall for Mönchengladbach. But Korbel now leading it away for Eintracht. To the number 6, Laurent. Brought down, free kick. Winfried Schaefer, the man who brought him down, and a free kick now for Eintracht Frankfurt. Laurent is okay. And it's going to be Nicol with the free kick for Eintracht Frankfurt. Curled in there towards Holzenbein, but Harold Nicol trying to get it away there for Mönchengladbach. The number 4 is Hannes. Back to his 6'5" goalkeeper, Wolfgang Kneib. Matthias to Schaefer. Matthias again. Schäfer. There's a Schaefer and a Schaffer in the side. Frank Schaffer, the number 2, and Winfried Schaefer, the number 3. But this is Lienen for Mönchengladbach. Stopped in the end, though, by Willy Neuberger. Cross coming in once more. Delay will try and get to it, but nodded away quite comfortably there by Ermentrout. Borchers to the number 10, Nicol. Played on again this time for Borchers. Big, strong number 9 with a lot of pace to him and brought down. No, he wasn't brought down, and in fact, Kneib stopped it. The ball, in fact, had gone over the byline for the goal kick to Mönchengladbach. There's an awful lot of pace about the game at the moment, Tony.
Yeah, I think that's normal. It's a cup final, and nerves are on edge a little bit. And at the moment, Frankfurt seem to be settling down that little bit better. But I'm sure Gladbach will come eventually.
Well, it's a throw to Frankfurt at the moment. The number 8, Kulik. Dispossessed, though, by Borchers. Now it's number 10, Nicol, Bernd Nicol. Neuberger. Played forward again for Bumcha, the South Korean. And a corner. South Korean, who's said to be extremely good in the air as well. Top scorer for Frankfurt with 12 goals this season. Bumcha. It's going to be Bernd Nicol. Really experienced player for Frankfurt, over 300 games with this corner. Played in a little low there. And it's Carsten Nielsen bringing it away for Mönchengladbach to Lienen. Played short there for Nicol. Now Lienen again. Men coming up in support of him. Hannes, the big defenders come right forward. And Schaefer again, just Over the top, though. Noticeable there how they got their defenders forward, because it was the number 3 in the end, Winfried Schaefer, who got in the shot, but it was Hannes, the number 4, who made that a pass from attacking position. So it's Bruno Petzai now for Eintracht Frankfurt, the Austrian. Laurent. Snickel. Petzai again. And Bumcha. Well, he's going to have another go. And does well, until in the end, Gladbach got it away. He had Ringles worried there for a while, did this little South Korean. And so it's going to be a throw to be taken here by Ermentrout. Laurent. Nickel. Petzai. Nickel again. Korbel. Petzai. Ermentrout. Maybe along the wing here for the number 9, Watchers. And here's Lehnen. Well, a little delays after that one, but Ermentrout finding Laurent for Eintracht Frankfurt. Nickel. Well, that is in the end going to be a throw for Mönchengladbach. Schaefer. Lehnen to Schaefer. Now to Hannes. And again, the defender was getting forward, but it was a foul by a number 2 on a number 2 by Ermentrout on Frank Schäfer. And the referee wants the game stopped while the Mönchengladbach number 2 gets a bit of treatment. So Kulik, the captain, with the free kick for Mönchengladbach. Not a very good one. But a Mönchengladbach throw. Kulik, in fact, the only survivor from the 1973 Mönchengladbach side that lost to Liverpool here in the UEFA Cup. Well, Petzai got a very valuable deflected header in there, and the punch that time by Jürgen Paul, the Frankfurt goalkeeper, clearing his lines. But still, I was going to say Mönchengladbach on the attack, but the free kick now going to Eintracht Frankfurt. Neuberger. Petzai. To Laurent. Borchers. Petzai. Well, there's any degree of patience here. Someone looking for a chance to explode forward, and Nickel trying to find Bumcha. And Hannes to Schaefer. To Kulik for Borussia Mönchengladbach. Petzai cutting it out. Fell, got up quickly, won it well in the air. And on the ground. But then loses it out to little Calais Delay. So now Mönchengladbach, Mattes are playing the ball forward to Nielsen, the Dane. Going a long way, he's going to take some stopping, and in the end, it goes behind for the corner to Mönchengladbach. Well, that is his speciality, Nielsen. Tremendously fast on the ball, really taking on men. And getting a corner for Mönchengladbach here, which Matthias will take. And Lienen's backward header very nearly getting into the goal there, punched away by Paul. And another throw to Mönchengladbach. Kulik on the far side. Finding a yard of space to hammer in a good cross there. And Paul in trouble, and Petzai heading the ball over his own crossbar. And it was the number 2, Frank Schaefer, who was right in there causing trouble for Mönchengladbach, for Frankfurt. And so a corner for Mönchengladbach. And into the side netting, not a very good one there by Carsten Nielsen, and a goal kick to Eintracht Frankfurt. Goalkeeper Jürgen Pahl, who's an East German, in fact. Laurent. As Eintracht build it up again. Ringels. Matthaus. Kulik. Nielsen. And Hannes this time finding Frank Schaefer. Cut out quite easily though by Neuberger, and here's Holzenbein. Oh, a bit of space here as Neuberger fills it in there, played in once more, but in the end quite easily back to the keeper. Schaefer, Delay trying his luck on the far side now, and getting to it, turning in a good cross there, which Paul had to go down to. Well, the Frankfurt defender was almost thrown out of his stride, was indeed by Delay. Matthaus, Lienen. Delay's gone wide on the far side. Matthaus again, and Nielsen getting a corner. Borchers right back to help the defence as Nielsen himself takes this corner for Mönchengladbach, a much deeper one there. The keeper getting 2 fists to that one and a little bit of distance on it. Holzenbein helping it on his way to Bumschar now. Played inside for Bernd Holzenbein. For Eintracht Frankfurt in the all-dark strip. 0-0 so far in this UEFA Cup final first leg as Nielsen turns it back to Knive. Lienen. But now it's Borchers. Holzenbein. And Matthaus, I think, making a bit of a meal of that, but nonetheless got a free kick. And Holzenbein saying that his shirt was being tugged there by the Mönchengladbach number 6. Schaefer. Nielsen. Schaefer again. And again, Schaefer again finding Nielsen. Switch there to Matthaus. Schaefer, the long ball in there. And it'll come now for Lehnen on the far side. Hannes. Matthaus. And a goal kick. Bernd Nickel for Eintracht Frankfurt to Bruno Petzai. Scored a couple of times for Austria against England in Vienna last summer in that 4-3 win for the Austrians, and here he comes again, Petzai. And he'll get that one in once more. And in the end, it takes an interception there from the number 3, Winfried Schaefer, who got it away, and now it's with Lehnen. Nielsen has Mönchengladbach are forward again. Delay is away on the right here for Frank Schaefer. It's Nielsen again, though. One of those runs of his looking to get in a shot. Cannons off Holzenbein for the corner to Mönchengladbach. So Mönchengladbach's corner towards the near post there, nodded away by Petzai. Coming up to 20 minutes of the first half gone. And a throw to Eintracht Frankfurt. Nickel. They have an amazing record in this UEFA Cup final, or at least UEFA Cup of Mönchengladbach. They've only been in it 4 times, but each time they've got to the final. Twice they won it, and once they lost it to Liverpool. And this is appearance number 4, and this is the number 8, Karger, on the ball for them now. But back with Kneib. Winfried Schaefer. And Frank Schaefer's long ball to the far side to Norbert Ringels. Hannes. Lehnen. Kulik. And Delay trying for all he's worth to get in on the end of that one, and seems to be hustled out of it, though, by Ermentrout. Borchers. And this is Laurent. With Karger going alongside him, but it's Schaefer again there for Mönchengladbach. Nielsen's long ball releasing Delay, but Petzai is there. And very cleverly, not only beats Delay, keeps the ball in there for Nickel. Borchers. Nickel. Petzai again. Neuberger. And Karger shoving the Mönchengladbach player off the ball there. And a free kick to the home team. Hannes to Lehnen. Nickel. Well, certainly Mönchengladbach will be looking to get 1 or 2 goals in the bank for the second leg in a fortnight's time, although their away record has been so very, very good in this competition that they're saying, well, even if we don't win here tonight, we're fully confident that we can still finish the job in Frankfurt in a fortnight. And a side that has won away to Inter Milan and away to St Etienne on the way to this final, I suppose that's a pretty reasonable argument. But at the moment, they needed to defend a little bit as Ermentrout tries to come in. But Lehnen should dispossess him here for Mönchengladbach. With Delay making a great run down the left-hand touchline now, with Nicol waiting in the middle, and Kulik coming up fast, but it's still with Delay. And in the end, he tried to do a little too much, and it was Bernd Nicol finding Bernd Holzenbein for Eintracht Frankfurt. Borchers putting it back to Holzenbein. And it's a chance possibly coming up there. No, in the end, it didn't come through to Holzenbein, and Kneip was able to grab it. Not only grab it, but throw it out first time to Nielsen. Kulik, Schaefer. Delay. And Kulik again, playing it back this time to the number 3, Frank Schaefer. And Kulik with a shot, punched away there by Paul. Here we go again, a lovely little touch there and some good keeping. In fact, Kulik with nice control on his chest, pushed away for the corner. And Kulik himself with this corner now for Mönchengladbach. So the Gladbach captain with a chance to turn it in once more. Petsai with a header away for Frankfurt. Frank Schaefer. Kulik. Ringels to Winfried Schaefer. And here's Hannes. Schaefer challenged quickly there by Borchers. Ringels. Schaefer to Schaefer. And another break this time for Nicol, but kept at bay very well there by the Frankfurt defence. But it's with Delay, and the ball still just in play. Nielsen. Will he try one himself? Trying to go all the way, but... And for the home side, Tony, they're not getting that many shots in Mönchengladbach.
No, at the moment, Frankfurt are massing the defence, and they're looking very dangerous on the break. It's going to be very difficult for Gladbach. They're going to have to decide whether to push men forward or
take a shot like this. Oh, pushed away well by Paul. Well, between us, we got it right in the end, Tony. But again, Jürgen Paul in this Frankfurt goal, saving well that time from Matthias. You were saying?
Yeah, they push men forward and try and get a goal. Well, like I say, they're going to find it very difficult in Frankfurt next week.
The views of Tony Woodcock, now playing for Cologne. And a free kick for Eintracht Frankfurt. Well, they're pushing forward now. Lehnen, this time finding Nicol. Played on again there towards Lehnen. And Petsai nicely in control to Nicol. Petsai. And Karga trying to hustle a mistake out of Hannes. Real rough and tumble striker, this Karga, Harold Karga. But now Holzenbein. Nicol playing it again towards Bumcha. Turn back nicely if Nicol can get in there, but Hannes getting it away, not very far, but Borchers couldn't get a shot in. But here's Holzenbein again. Once more towards Nicol. Played this time to Borges. Holzenbein wanting the ball and getting it. Nickel had gone in there and stayed in there, and so is Karger in there too, number 8. Being forced away again by Mönchengladbach though. So Borges trying another angle, the long ball, which will go too far, I fancy, yes, for the South Korean. Bumcha, goal kick. Schaefer for Mönchengladbach. Petzai. Borges. And back by Laurent to his keeper. Petzai. And Nickel. Korbel taking it forward again to Holzenbein on the far side. And Korbel will not keep that one in. A throw to Mönchengladbach. In fact, you played a 2-2 draw against Eintracht Frankfurt on Saturday yourself. Did you find them hard to break down?
On Saturday, I wasn't too impressed with Frankfurt, and that's why I've gone for Mönchengladbach tonight. But at the moment, they're playing very well, and it's making it very difficult for Gladbach. On reflection, I still think that Gladbach are going to do it in the end.
Well, they're taking it forward again at Gladbach as the ball reaches Schaefer on the far side. This is the number 2, Frank Schaefer. Nickel battling away there with the number 4, Korbel. Gladbach's throw. Kulik. A nice little cross coming in there under the crossbar, but Paul catching it well from Norbert Ringels. Ermentrout. Borges, number 9, coming from deep here. He's much more of a midfield player, of course. Holzenbein sending him on his way again, though. Borges being covered by the number 6, Matheus. And that's Kneipp's ball. Lehnen. Schaefer. Nielsen. Kulik on this side. And cut out nicely there by Nickel. And here's Bumcha. That'll find Lehnen. Half an hour gone, still no score in this first leg of the UEFA Cup final between Mönchengladbach in the white strip and Eintracht Frankfurt in the all-red strip here in Mönchengladbach. 0-0 with half an hour gone. Nickel. It's Bernd Nickel, the number 10 for Eintracht Frankfurt. It's Harold Nickel, the top scorer for Mönchengladbach, who's wearing the number 9 for the Whites. Schaefer with Delay making a run ahead of him. Nielsen inside him. Lehnen on the far side. And nobody up there except the Frankfurt goalkeeper, Paul. Neuberger. Borges. Ermentrout. Well, Frankfurt will be quite happy to play it patiently around. The onus is really on Mönchengladbach to do the positive things here tonight. Petzai. Well, a free kick to Mönchengladbach, which the Frankfurt fans here are not all that happy about. So it's the number 5 there, and Ringels playing it for one Schaefer, who in turn plays it on for the other one. With Lehnen, with a lot of space on that far left touchline. Now being closed down by Neuberger. And a lot of space here too. And a chance maybe for Matheus to make something of this. Pushed away again by Paul. Oh, the keeper's done well. Good run here by Matheus, though. They say he's the new Bertie Vogts here at Mönchengladbach. A marker who likes to come forward, and he pulled a save out of the keeper there. Long swinging corner, punched away by Paul in the Frankfurt goal again. Ringels to Schaefer. Kulik. Lehnen. Schaefer. Nickel waiting in the middle there, and again the keeper is equal to it. Good anticipation, safe pair of hands. Keeper's done well for them, Tony.
Yeah, he's made 1 or 2 good saves. Gladbach are starting to settle down a little bit now, and I would like to see Lehnen come into the game a little bit more. So I think he could be the match winner tonight. But at the moment, we're not seeing much of him.
Right, so we're watching out for Lehnen. He's the long-haired number 11 for Mönchengladbach in the white. Neuberger. Nobody really coming to attack anybody here. And Petzai almost leisurely there in the way that he was able to play the ball out to Neuberger. And now it's with Nickel. Such an experienced player, but that pass going nowhere. A throw to Mönchengladbach. Hannes for Schaefer. Matheus. Played it nicely there by him as well. And now Nielsen for Mönchengladbach. Played there almost for Delay, but well, that was a very timely challenge indeed in the Eintracht Frankfurt defence there by Korbel. And now it's Karga. Borchers waiting in the middle, and that's going to be a corner. Number 10, Nickel, will take it. He's been with Frankfurt since 1966. And he's got to take it again. Up Delay. Schaefer watching Karga. And Nickel with the corner for Eintracht Frankfurt. Curling in there and into the back of the net. If anything, punched there by the keeper himself. Although Karga, I think, will be only too pleased to say, that's my goal. But let's judge for ourselves. Curled in there superbly. Well, it may have been the keeper. It may have been Karga. But it's in the back of the net. And it looks as though the number 8 will want to claim it. Harold Karga for Eintracht Frankfurt. And so the home team go behind. A really marvellous in-swinging corner there from Nickel. Here he is now playing this short ball to his skipper Holzenbein. Karga, the man who claimed that goal for Eintracht Frankfurt. And finding Bumchar now. And now Borchers with Neuberger away on the far side. 1-0 to Eintracht Frankfurt. And that's a chance for Mönchengladbach to bring it away, for Lehnen. The man who could be the danger man, Tony Woodcock thinks tonight, for Mönchengladbach. Played here now for Schaefer. Nielsen. Olsenbein holding it away. Neuberger. Borchers being chased by Lehnen. Still Borchers for Frankfurt. And an advantage there played by the referee. Thought about blowing a whistle, but then decided not to, and it's Nicol losing the ball nonetheless. As Frankfurt set up another attack, Bumchar coming in there, but the ball wouldn't fall for him. And Mönchengladbach, Schaefer just turning that one away, Ringels rather. Ermentrout to Holzenbein. Ermentrout again, advancing into that penalty area, pulled across the goal there. Oh! Onto the crossbar by Ringels, very nearly an own goal. My word, you couldn't get closer than that. A nasty cross there, and the 5 was really committed to it, and look how close to goal number 2. So 1-0 it remains, as Neuberger whacks that one into touch before Lehnen can make any advance. A throw to Mönchengladbach. A goal down, and it might have been 2. Lehnen again now. Now for Schaefer. Crossed in towards Nicol, being hustled all the way there, and again Frankfurt get it away. Frank Schaefer on this side now. And Neuberger pushing it forward, but only Hannes is there for Mönchengladbach. Schaefer. Played in again towards Nicol, and back in turn to keeper Jürgen Pohl. Got a space there for Holzenbein. Bumchar in the middle, and Karger too. And Karger going for this one, and it'll come now for Bumchar. Can he control it and find anybody quickly enough? There's a shot by Laurent just over the crossbar. Oh, Kneib is having plenty to do. What lovely bit of play here by Bumchar, though. And Laurent's shot just clearing that Mönchengladbach crossbar. Matthaus, but it's straight to Frankfurt again. Played on for Ermentrout by Nicol. Schaefer back to Kneib. Ringels. So near to producing an own goal. Delay. Holding off that challenge by Ermentrout very well indeed. Finding the number 4, Hannes. Schaefer again for Ringels. Lehnen on the far side. Now Lehnen. All the way, looking to get in a shot. Nicol also there hoping to make something of it, but it was Ermentrout who got it away. And while Mönchengladbach hesitated, Bumchar was in quickly enough. But here's Matthaus again, making the break himself. Some good attacking football coming now from both sides. And again, it's the South Korean Bumchar. Neuberger to the number 8, Karger, who scored the opening goal. And that's a free kick to Mönchengladbach. Schaefer. Played there for Delay. Can he control it? But in the end, the number 2, Ermentrout, and the keeper between them got it away for Frankfurt. But a throw to Mönchengladbach. Targa hurdling that challenge by Matthaus. Laurent. Borch is up there in support as well, and here's Holzenbein. Played wide again there for Borches, and behind by Schaefer for the corner. It's the sort of game we expected now, Tony, with a lot of attack.
Yeah, that's right. Both teams are attacking now. Frankfurt have got a lot of confidence from the first goal, and now they're really playing very well and getting very good balls across from behind the defence.
Well, here's a corner by Bernd Nickel, nodded away that time by Mönchengladbach to Lehnen. Schaefer this time for Kulik. Lehnen. Schaefer. Played in towards Nickel. They got in well again, did that Eintracht defence. And here's Buncha on his way. No, it'll go back to Knive. Pringles. Lehnen. We're in the last minute of the first half. Kulik, this time for Matthaus. Just trying to lift it in there, but again they get it away. Matthaus turning it in again. Once more, now for Kulik. No penalty. My word, that was touch and go. That really was touch and go right on half-time. As we look at it again, well, he made a bit of a meal of it, Kulik. And in fact, the referee, I don't know whether he's got a yellow card out there. He's obviously taken somebody's name for dissent over that penalty award. I should say the referee has got a bit of a nickname in Europe as the Yellow Peril after he showed 6 yellow cards and 1 red in one match in this competition between Standard Liège of Belgium and Naples of Italy. But he clearly was not at all happy with the dissent shown there by the Mönchengladbach players after that penalty was turned down. And we come towards half-time. Bernd Holzenbein with the throw for Frankfurt. And now Lehnen, trying to work something from deep. Did you think, first of all, that was a penalty, Tony?
No, I think it was a fair decision. He went over, but I think it was a good decision by the referee.
And what about the first half? How do you think it's gone so far?
Well, I've got to give it to Frankfurt. They're playing with a lot of confidence, and not only that.
Well, here we are now, though. Oh, another great save by Paul. And Kulik. Oh, a terrific goal! Over the period of 45 minutes. But a terrific goal there by Mönchengladbach that ties it up at 1-1. And all Jürgen Paul can do is to take the ball from the net. Well, the skipper, Kulik, has put Mönchengladbach truly right back in this game now, and what a time to get it with the last kick of the first half. What an amazing climax to this UEFA Cup first leg final, with Mönchengladbach then getting that equalising goal right on half-time from their skipper Christian Kulik to equalise one scored by Harold Targa for Eintracht Frankfurt. A half-time score then here in Mönchengladbach. Mönchengladbach 1, Eintracht Frankfurt 1, and we'll be back with the second half.
7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9. Block 5, 21, Block 9, 3, 14. Block 3, 12, 8, Block 12, 2, 22. Geben Sie doch auf und geben Sie wieder für uns in einer Woche eine Schritt Unterschiede zum gepriesenen Aussehen und gute Träume in Solarmomentstudio. Mönchengladbach 2, Datenstraße 187 und Rathaus 7 finden Sie daran. Montag bis Freitag von 19:21 Uhr, Samstag von 9 bis 16 Uhr. Im Hauptwagen von Hamburg 2, Kleinwagen.
Can you hear me in London?
Do they hear London?
Did we go back?
Yeah.
So, tell Don is very distorted.
Dawn is very distorted, but as time is short, do you want us to go ahead now fairly quickly, London?
Right, well,
Go ahead when we like.
just watch the...
Okay.
What is it about the game, Brian?
Pardon? We talk about the game, then we talk a little bit about the European Cup final.
Second barrage, what do you want, 3 minutes?
Yeah, it'd be lovely.
Give you 3.
All right. We'll see how it goes. Just relax now. You can expand a little bit now.
Easier here than here.
Hey?
Hope they cut most of it out.
No, don't worry. You'll be all right. Yeah. Okay, we'll go ahead in a moment then. Tony Wilcock, it's been a pleasure working with you tonight, and it's been a pleasure watching the game tonight. I mean, did it surprise you, the amount of attacking football we've seen?
It did tonight. I thought it was going to be very tight tonight, with Gladbach possibly coming out winners. But I watch it every week, and it still amazes me that there's so many goals scored and so many chances created, even when there is man-to-man marking. So I'm very surprised.
Why do you think this is?
I don't know. It's very tight for forwards. They're marked very tight, and they're given hardly any room at all. But what you find is many defenders and many midfield players get amongst the goals.
I mean, we've had that tonight with Holzenbein getting that diving header and Kulik scoring twice for Mönchengladbach.
Yeah, that's right. I think they're coming into the penalty area just a little bit later, and therefore possibly losing the marker and getting on to the end of things.
How would you see this going now in Frankfurt, the second leg?
After tonight's predictions, I haven't got a clue. I don't know. I really don't know. I think I'm going to still go for Gladbach. I think they're very good on the break also.
I must say, as we've come down to this pitch level, you're obviously very popular over here already. You've settled in quickly, but you're in a perfect position now as we look forward to another European game, the Nottingham Forest game against Hamburg. Of telling us what you think about that one as a former Forest player.
Yeah, obviously it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be a very tight game. Having seen Hamburg play against Real Madrid, it's possibly the best football I've seen for many, many years. They're outstanding. But then again, you can never write Forest off. It's going to be a little bit sad that Trevor Francis isn't playing. But you've still got to give them a chance there. You know, I think you can score goals against Hamburg, and against Forest, not.
What about Kevin Keegan, though? And he's got a big man up there, Rubesch as well, who seems to be scoring a lot of goals. Is that going to be a problem for Forest?
I think so, yeah. It's a very good combination. A little bit like the old Keegan Toshak one at Liverpool. Rubesch has improved tremendously over the last 12 months, so I've been told. And he's very strong, he's very good in the air, and now he's developing good skills on the ground also.
But if you had to lay it on the line with a forecast?
On the night, cup football, I'll go for Forest.
Forest.
Yeah.
Brian Clough will be pleased to hear you say that. But as you say, it's sad news about Trevor Francis, because you were working up such a good understanding with him for England as well.
Yeah, we play very well together in Spain, and we're looking forward to the Argentinian game, and then, like you say, in Italy. I'm very, very sad for him indeed, yeah, and also for England.
Yes. And you were not coming back for the home internationals, though?
No, my last appointment with the squad will be against the Argentinian team.
Yes. And then European Championships?
Yeah, if all goes well, yes.
You seem to be settling in happily. How do you feel about that now?
Yeah, it's gone very well. The only problem so far is that in the past 6 weeks we cannot win a game. And now it's a little bit disappointing. But on Saturday we play in the semi-final of the Cup. So it's compensation for not playing in the European Cup final.
It'll be easier playing in that than making predictions here tonight in any case, I'm sure.
Definitely.
Thanks for joining us, though. Let's go back to Alan Taylor now in London.
Thank you.
Pardon? Yeah, yeah. Like that. Like that.
Start laughing.
Hey?
No.
You just... This is for cutaways, London. Now to your father, what not? Tilly bump, tilly bump, tilly bump, tilly bump. Okay? All right, London? Don't worry about the crowd. Don't say anything. Don't worry. Okay? Well, just say... Have they got it?
They have to start again. Didn't get it.
Didn't get it?
The whole interview.
I don't know.
They got that in London. Just turn around the two together.
Okay. One. Okay. Well, that's it for tonight from Borussia Mönchengladbach's ground here in West Germany. Our next date, of course, is this weekend. It's lovely, isn't it? Well, that's it for tonight from Germany. Our next footballer date, of course, will be the cup final this weekend, where who will be the... We'll do that again. Start again. Well, that's all from Germany for tonight, and our next date together, of course, will be the cup final this weekend, with Hull win the cup on Friday night at 10:30 when Brian Clough meets the fans, and then on Saturday when ITV's cup final transmission starts at 11:15 from Wembley Stadium, and then on Sunday afternoon at 2:30 how the cup was won, the post-mortems and the triumphant returning home of the victorious side. Well, I hope Saturday's game is as exciting as tonight's that Tony Woodcock and I have enjoyed. It's been good working with you, Tony, and now from all of us here in Germany, it's good night to you all. Did you get all that?
Thank you.
players are coming onto the field again, London. Roy says if you could roll again, that would be great. So welcome back to Mönchengladbach for the start of the second half of this UEFA Cup final first leg between the holders in the white strip, Mönchengladbach, who are attacking the goal to our left now, against Eintracht Frankfurt in the all-dark strip of red, with the score 1-1, with Kaga having scored first for Eintracht Frankfurt, and then right on the stroke of half-time, Kulik getting the equaliser for Mönchengladbach. Lehnen now for Mönchengladbach. And now Nielsen. In fact, it was confirmed that it was Nielsen, in fact, who had his name taken when they disputed the penalty just before half-time. Delay, the number 7, with Mönchengladbach, having beaten Viking Stavanger of Norway, Inter Milan of Italy, University of Craiova of Romania, St Etienne, and Stuttgart to get to this final, with Eintracht Frankfurt having beaten Aberdeen, Dinamo Bucharest, Feyenoord, Brno of Czechoslovakia, and Bayern Munich. The UEFA Cup, in fact, that British clubs have done well in this competition. In the days of the old Fairs Cup, Leeds, Newcastle, Arsenal and Leeds again all won it. And then Spurs and Liverpool twice have won it since it became the UEFA Cup. And we stand at the moment, as I say, 1-1. But they really have been the team of the 1970s. Mönchengladbach here in Germany, they've won the German Championship no fewer than 5 times. In fact, 5 times in the first 7 seasons of the 1970s. And here's Lehnen for them now, the number 11. The number 4, Hannes, pushing a few more forward now. Matthaus, Schaefer, to Schaefer again towards Nickel. It comes to Lehnen, in fact turned in there, and it's needed Paul to get down quickly there. The first real flash we've seen from this number 11 Lehnen. Really good control there, the way that he took the ball down and got his shot all in one go. And so it's Mönchengladbach taking heart from that equalising goal on the stroke of half-time, and it's Carsten Nielsen with them now, trying to get Lehnen away once more, but Nielsen getting another go. So Nielsen for Mönchengladbach, turned in once more, Petsai getting it away, and here's Holzenbein for Eintracht Frankfurt. To Bumchar, and again it's Kulik taking it this time, Matthaus with Hannes, number 4, Delay on the far side now for Mönchengladbach. Certainly no lack of attack in this UEFA Cup final first leg, and that's a goal kick. I think you'd expect to see Mönchengladbach gain a bit of confidence themselves from that goal right on half-time, Tony Woodcock.
Yes, disappointing first half for them, but a fantastic psychological booster for them with the goal on the stroke of half-time. Now it's whether they can press a little bit more, or if Frankfurt is going to start pulling out themselves, or if they've going to fight a little bit harder, I think.
It's a throw for Mönchengladbach. Nicol, the number 9. They're looking that much more confident now, Mönchengladbach, but at the moment it's Holzenbein. Flick forward again. And that time, the number 9, Borchers, brought down by Matthaus. And a free kick for Eintracht Frankfurt. Matthaus, the number 6, is only 19 years old. Holzenbein with the free kick, finding Neuberger. Here's Nicol. Filled in once more there, but towards Borchers. Petsai right in there too. Bumcha. Nicol. A little chip coming in there again towards Bumcha. Petsai right in there again. Bumcha again. And Lehnen over his own head to Schaefer. And Schaefer again. Mönchengladbach on the attack now. Finding Nicol, Harold Nicol, their top scorer. Played in towards little Delay, but he's taken out of the play there as the ball comes through the pile. Frankfurt getting away. Is Karger. And the ball back with Knive. Kulik. The man who scored that lifesaver of a goal for Mönchengladbach. Schaefer to Delay. Too high for Nielsen. It'll fall for Neuberger. Bumcha. Hannes quickly putting it forward again for Schaefer. Delay again making a break up there, but there's not a lot of support for him, and Petsai getting that one away well for Eintracht Frankfurt. Holzenbein. Bumcha up through the middle, and Hannes making the short pass to Matthaus. Hannes letting it go this time for Kulik. Nicol being challenged strongly and fairly by Korbel. And Holzenbein again. Winkling his way past one and then another. A little flick pass there again for Laurent. And here they come again. That time Karger was trying just a little too much, and the ball going for the goal kick. Karger, the man who scored the goal for Frankfurt from that in-swinging corner, which seemed at one point to may have been pushed into the net by Knibe. Nielsen to Bringels. And that's a throw to Frankfurt. Bumcha. Nielsen. Matthaus needs to go back to retrieve it. And a really deep cross here for Ringels. Cross in towards the far post. It should be the keeper's ball, and it is. Ehrmantraut, the long ball forward there. But Hannes for Mönchengladbach. Certainly attacking with much more conviction in the second half. Mönchengladbach, and here's Nielsen getting a corner. Well, Nielsen will take it. Lehnen's gone to the near post. Hannes has come up from the back. Nielsen is in the 6-yard area as well of Frankfurt. And a keeper's fisted clearance only as far as Schaefer. Nielsen's little touch, and he might get another little touch, and it might come yet. Well, They just can't get it away. Lehnen having a shot charge down. And a great save there from the keeper. Well, Paul did well there. But a much better start to the second half for Mönchengladbach. As Petzai now brings it away, though, for Frankfurt. And look at the space down here for Neuberger. Still Neuberger. Trying to curl one. Pushed away well by Knei, but only as far as Holzenbein. Crossed in once more. And in fact, it was Hannes who got it away from Knei when Knei thought it should have been his, and now it's a goal kick. Well, a good save here from Knei coming up as Neuberger tried to curl it round him. But Knei is 6'5". Well, that's given away to Neuberger again. Here's Buncha. A throw to Eintracht Frankfurt. Back to free kicks being given to the Frankfurt side, which Nicol will take. Little chip in there, nodded on nicely towards Buncha, and it'll come through in the end to Knei. Delay for Mönchengladbach. Lehnen. Cut out by Neuberger. And now it's Frankfurt's turn to come on the attack with their number 9, Borchers. Neuberger. Borchers. Nicol. Borchers. Trying to get it to Buncha. It'll come to Borchers again. And he might get a shot in here. And Knei down to save. Not really enough power in that shot. And now it's with Schaefer. Mönchengladbach on the attack. It's the sort of game we expected now, with both sides really all-out attack, as that shot from Nicol is again covered by Paul. Bernd Nicol now. Laurent. Played wide again and played well there for Hermantraut. Oh, and almost put in by Karger. In fact, it might easily have been put in there, and perhaps should have been put in there by the man who put Frankfurt ahead. But it's 1-1 the score here. Kulik having scored that equaliser for Mönchengladbach, and the ball back now with Jürgen Paul in the Frankfurt goal. Hannes in a little bit of bother. And now Delay. Nielsen up supporting him away on that right touchline. But it won't come Nielsen's way. Instead, it's Kulik got to chase this one out towards the corner flag. Delay out there with him. Here he is, Delay. Little cross coming in there once more. Petzai getting it away. Lehnen shot! Good save by Paul, because he could only have seen that very late indeed. That shot from the number 11, Lehnen. Petzai's header not getting a great distance on it. Shaped himself well there, and the keeper down well. And now it's Schaefer. Ringo. Forward here, and look at the space for Matthaus. Nielsen. This is a real attacking extravaganza at the moment as the ball comes to Lehnen. Being shadowed by Neuberger. Lehnen. Well, into the space there for Hannes. Now trying to get it to Delay. Cross coming in once more. And off Petzai. Again, there were rather half-hearted appeals that time from Mönchengladbach, thinking that it was handball, but a good ball from Petsai now for Bumcha. The South Korean really on his way now. But in the end, a free kick, the foul by Ringels on the Bumcha, and a free kick to Frankfurt just outside that Mönchengladbach penalty area. Here's the foul coming up. The intention's pretty clear, and it seems to me the knee going into the thigh a little bit there. Tony Woodcock?
So far, it's a very entertaining game. There seems to be no midfield at the moment. But like I say, very entertaining for the supporters.
It can't always be as attacking as this in Germany, though, surely.
In my experience over 5 months, I think yes.
Well, it's certainly good stuff for the fans, because although Frankfurt are the away side looking for what you would call a good result, a draw or a narrow defeat away from home with a second leg to come, they, if anything, are attacking just as much as the home club Mönchengladbach. And at the moment they have this free kick. Nicol with the kick, and plenty of red shirts are up in that Mönchengladbach penalty area. Now, what is Nicol going to come up with now? A little chip going in there, and headed over in the end by, again, that Karger, Harold Karger. Lovely little chip there by Nicol. Floated in there. Bumcha went for it, couldn't quite reach it. Karger reached it all right, but put it wide. So Delay coming from deep now for Mönchengladbach. Quarter of an hour, the second half gone. The score still standing at 1-1. It's with Lehnen. And Schaefer just keeping it in. Quite easily turned away that by the Frankfurt defence to Nicol, to Holzenbein, and Hannes back to his keeper. Karger to Borches. Eintracht making a run down the left, but this is Hannes now for Mönchengladbach. So he swings it forward again, but Delay can't get to that one. Eintracht here, the number 2 for Frankfurt. Nicol, nice little touch there by him for Laurent. Karger on the far side now. Played in for Bumcha, left it behind. Holzenbein tried to get in there. In the end, it's back side. And now Lehnen on the break for Mönchengladbach. Kulik, the captain, with Nielsen up there for him as well. But stopped beautifully by Bruno Petsai, the big defender for Eintracht Frankfurt. So he gets an attack going now with Holzenbein. And as Tony Woodcock said, there really seems to be no midfield at all. Everything is bypassing the midfield as defenders play the ball forward. And on this occasion, the number 8, Karger, being caught offside. I think part of the explanation might be that everybody in midfield is just so keen to get up in attack themselves. Matthaus now for Mönchengladbach to Schaefer. Still 1-1 the score, but it could have been so much more than that. With both keepers, in fact, being kept very busy indeed and making some good saves. But it's a throw now to Mönchengladbach. So the long throw. Nicol. And they only get it as far as Hannes. Delay coming to this one, but Laurent was there first, finding Bumcha. And that time a foul and a free kick. Ringels, the guilty man. And it'll be a free kick to Eintracht Frankfurt. Laurent be okay, I'm sure. His father was trainer of Eintracht Frankfurt, the number 6, and also played, of course, for the 1953 Hungarian side of Ferenc Puskás. There he is again. Holzenbein played in again once more, and a good save this time by Knive from the number 8 Targa. Neuberger, Nickel, Neuberger, Holzenbein, Ermentrout. What a lovely ball from Holzenbein if the fullback can get there, which he can. Karga's waiting here in a bit of space as well, looking to see what's available to him, and played a little bit too wide there maybe for Bumchar. But Char getting it here for Neuberger. Another shot raining in towards that Mönchengladbach penalty area, and it's not away yet because here's Borchers playing it wide this time for Nickel, and crossed in nicely and quickly, and Schaefer getting it away as far as Kulik, and a chance now for Mönchengladbach, urged on by their fans to make a break themselves. Nielsen, Schaefer, and that's a poor ball there. Petsai, Borchers, and beaten by Nickel. Many white shirts are up again, including Schaefer. Played back again a little too firmly for Matthaus to be able to control it, but the foul by Lawrence gives Mönchengladbach a free kick. Well, Kulik's behind it. And so is Nielsen. As that wall lines up, it's Kulik with a little chip there. Delay on the far side. But it was Karga who got it away. Schaefer. Ringels. And here come Mönchengladbach again. Matthaus. Stopped so nicely by Karga. Nielsen, Delay. Stopped by Ermentrout. Nickel. The long ball forward here for Holzenbein. Played in again once more for Bumchar. Oh, Borchers with a shot just wide of that goal from the number 9. Bumchar's little pass. Borchers shot wide of Knive in the goal. Schaefer to Nielsen. Holzenbein's after him, but Nielsen's strength and pace takes him through. And he fell there as he was challenged by, well, the Dane. Really can't understand it, but I must say that didn't look a foul to me. Almost fell at Petsai's feet. And Ermentrout now for Frankfurt. Borchers. Delay. Schaefer. Where would your money be now, Tony?
Yeah, I must admit, Frankfurt seem the best bet at the moment. I think Gladbach are playing very tightly at the moment, and I think they could do better if they started playing down the wings. And like I say, getting lean into the game a little bit more. But at the moment, you've got to be thinking in terms of Frankfurt.
Yes, certainly we haven't seen very much of Lehnen, who is a superb wing player, and once or twice has looked very dangerous. So here he is on the ball at the moment now. A little touch there, took out 2 of the Frankfurt players, and found Schaefer. The long ball forward for Nickel to chase. And indeed, we haven't seen a great deal of Harold Nickel, the top scorer for Mönchengladbach tonight either. Plenty of this fellow, though, Jürgen Paul. Matthaus. And Matthaus again, that fell nicely for him. Look at the way he's attacked that ball in the penalty area. And he's got a corner for Mönchengladbach. Well, that's Lothar Matthaus, just 19 years old. And a corner which Nielsen will take for Mönchengladbach. Hannes is up there on the edge of the penalty area. And that's a good punch away again by Paul. And it comes to Schaefer. Flicked in once more towards Nicol. Not it down there for Delay, but that's a goal kick and no problems for Frankfurt. If you want to say it again, I'll just give you a second. So here are Frankfurt again with Bumcha, Holzenbein, and an offside. And Mönchengladbach with a substitute warming up, and they're going to be taking off Delay. But at the moment it's Frankfurt on the ball as Neuberger tries to make something of it. It's going to be Berdecker who's coming on, who's a midfield player. And they're going to be taking Delay off in the moment. There's Berdecker. And the ball with Neuberger. Borchers. And a lovely cross in there. Oh, what a beautiful goal there by Holzenbein. A terrific goal there by the Frankfurt captain. A lovely cross in there by Borchers. And what about this for a diving header? Coming in late, risking everything and putting it wide of Kneib, and that's 2-1 to Frankfurt. So both captains have scored. Kulik got the equaliser for Mönchengladbach, and now Holzenbein has put Frankfurt back in the lead at 2-1. Well, Bernd Holzenbein played in the World Cup final in 1974. And he's done well in this final here tonight as well. But while you've been looking at that, Bodiger has come on for Mönchengladbach, and Delay is off the field. Well, Mönchengladbach still a goal down then. Lehnen. Borchers, whose lovely cross it was that gave Holzenbein his chance, and here's Holzenbein again. Bumcha. Played for Borchers. More of the same, I wonder? No, this time Kneib was up and collecting. Mind you, standing 6'5½", he's entitled to collect enough of those balls. And he's got that one as well. So Bodiger, the substitute now for Mönchengladbach. For Hannes, with Lehnen outside him. Here's Lehnen, cut out though by Neuberger. Lehnen for Mönchengladbach. Holzenbein just nicking it away there for Borchers. Yes, the ball out of play, and a throw to Mönchengladbach. A little over a quarter of an hour to go, and quite a deal of work for Mönchengladbach still to do. The captain, Christian Kulik, on the ball at the moment, looking to see what's available. Playing it here for Lehnen, closely marked by Neuberger, but getting away from him. And then tugging away at Holzenbein. A good advantage played there by the referee, though. Saw it all. Neuberger in for Nickel. Ermenschart. And Ermenschart again, taking it from Laurent. Korbel. Neuberger. Frankfurt's throw. Umschau with it. Holzenbein. And it'll come through for Kneipp. Bodecker. Bodecker taking the return and getting it a third time. And he'll get it a fourth time. So still with Bodecker. In for Hannes. Switch to the far side there for Matthaus, but he can't keep it in play, and it's a goal kick for Eintracht Frankfurt. And suddenly it seems, Tony, the steam's going out of Mönchengladbach.
Yeah, I think that second goal's really killed them off now, and I think before the game, Frankfurt would have been very happy with a draw, or possibly a 1-0 defeat. But to go away with what it looks like a win, they're going to be absolutely delighted.
Well, they have a quarter of an hour to hold on to that lead. Hannes playing it forward again here. A little not on this time, but Petzai is there, back to his keeper, Paul. Off Holzenbein's knees. Bodecker. Lehnen outside him. Trying to go through the gap himself, helped by Hannes. Still looking as though he might try and find Lehnen, and indeed he does on this side of the field. Lehnen now taking on Neuberger. And for Hannes to try a shot. It'll come for Lehnen again. Knocking it in there quickly, and hit first time! Oh, a superb goal there. Well, that really has tied it up again at 2-2, and it's Matthaus who scored this little goal here. Hannes had it charged down. Lehnen now turned that in superbly, and Matthaus, the 19-year-old, puts it wide of the Frankfurt keeper into the back of the net at 2-2. So Powell beaten for the second time, and 2-2 the score. Here are Mönchengladbach again. Just as we were saying, it looked as though all the fight had gone out of them. They are right back in it and pushing Frankfurt back again. Led Tony Woodcock's realising how tricky the forecasting business is. It's with Lehnen again for Mönchengladbach. And the ball was rolling as that free kick was taken, so the Spanish referee has decided it's got to be taken again. And in fact, Frankfurt are going to bring on a substitute, Nachtwey, who, like the goalkeepers, an East German. But it's a free kick for Mönchengladbach. Matthaus playing it to wide again for Kulik. Wide again here for Ringels. And crossed in once more there. Hannes is right in there. Matthaus playing it back again. for Schaefer. Played in once more for Nickel to chase. And the ball is over for the goal kick. And in fact, one of the Frankfurt players, and I think it's Borchers, in trying to keep that ball in play or shadow it out of play, crashed into some photographers there and looks to be injured off the field. Well, the game surely will have to go on. Frankfurt are not happy about that, but with the player off the field, there's only one thing that can happen, and that is the game must go on. There's the challenge. And that's how he fell. And Frankfurt then at this moment down to 10 men as the game goes on, and the score at 2-2. So Mönchengladbach looking for a third goal that will give them at least a little lead to take to the second leg. But it's Neuberger for Eintracht Frankfurt. And Hannes. And Borchers still injured off the field. And it's Schaefer now. Played here for Kulik, who is offside. Lawrence is off. Hermantraut for Eintracht Frankfurt. To the number 12 there, Nachbei. Bodecker. Kulik. Lehnen. And the white shirts are lining up in the middle for this one, but in the end, Frankfurt will get it away. And they're going to make a substitution now, and it's Cargo, the man who was injured and off the field, will stay off the field, and it's number 14, Trapp. Wolfgang Trapp, who's a defender who's coming on. So maybe it looks as though that's the first sign that Frankfurt will be happy to settle for 2-2. The defender's been brought on, but it's Mönchengladbach who are still doing this amount of attacking with Hannes. Now Ringels. Bodecker. And Schaefer on the far side. And a cross coming in once more, but Frankfurt get it away. Borchers. Neuberger. Played on again for Borchers, who's offside. So inside the last 10 minutes now. With Mönchengladbach looking so hard for that third goal that will mean so much when the second leg comes around, and Frankfurt doing everything they can, you may depend, in the time that's left to deny them that. And will be looking, as they have all night in fact, for something on the breakaway themselves. Neuberger turning away from trouble there and getting it away nicely, but only this time as far as Hannes. That second goal by Matthaus that made it 2-2 has really brought all the fire back to Mönchengladbach, and here's Matthaus again, but this time the shot is way off the target. And a goal kick to Eintracht Frankfurt. Jupp Heynckes, the trainer of Mönchengladbach. Back when Liverpool played here in 1973, he scored both the goals in the home leg here, but Liverpool won 3-2 on aggregate. And here it's 2-2 in this first leg. And Bumchar caught fractionally offside. A free kick to Mönchengladbach. Norbert Ringels with it. Matthaus again, looking to get in a scoring shot. Nickel turning it in there, smothered away though by Paul in the Frankfurt goal. And it'll be a throw to Mönchengladbach. Bodecker keeping this pressure now on Frankfurt. Nicol. And a goal kick. In fact, they whacked the ball away. And I think it might be a yellow card there for Bernd Nicol for throwing the ball away. Or rather kicking it away after the whistle had gone. Which was a blatant piece of time wasting there by the Frankfurt number 10. And a goal kick to Eintracht Frankfurt. And a free kick to Frankfurt. Foul by Schaefer. On Borches. Nicol with it. Oh, a missed kick there by Bodecker, but no harm has come of it. Neuberger just getting the ball back to Petsai. Trapped. The substitute to Borches. Bumchard's waiting in the middle, but Gladbach getting that one away and finding their skipper Kulik. They down the line here for the Dane Nielsen. The sort of situation he might relish, where he can really attack people. But the challenge on him was a good one. The timing there of the number 4 Korbel was excellent. And Gladbach get a throw. Kulik, Nielsen, Kulik, brought down there, free kick. And Neuberger's going to get a yellow card now. And Mönchengladbach had a free kick. And it looks as though they might be bringing Nielsen off, in fact. Yes, they're bringing Nielsen off and bringing Teichhuisen on instead for Mönchengladbach. Kulik, though, with the free kick. A deep one towards the far post there. Only poured away there. Well, that might so easily have been another goal there for Mönchengladbach, but Nicol's little touch wasn't sure enough. The keeper, who's been very good with his punching all night, really only just poured at that one. Teichhuisen, who's on in place of Nielsen. But here comes Trapp for Frankfurt. And look at the space ahead of him for Bumchard, but in fact he was fractionally offside. They want to get this free kick taken quickly. Well inside the last 5 minutes now as Mönchengladbach come forward again. I think the defences on both sides have been left a little bit wanting, but certainly the attacking football that both have shown has been really exhilarating. With the score at 2-2. Matthaus now playing it here for Hannes for Mönchengladbach. Long ball forward again here, and Frankfurt getting it away to Neuberger. Nicol just heading it on. And it's Ringo. Trying to get one inside the fullback, which he succeeds in doing. The cross coming in there. Oh! A superb goal again! It's Kulik. What a beautiful goal by Mönchengladbach, and they do believe in leaving things late. Right on the stroke of half-time, this fellow scored an equalising goal, and now he scored what might well prove to be a winner with that beautiful header there, and with only 2 minutes left on the clock. What a magnificent first leg final this is, with Mönchengladbach twice behind, and now 3-2 in the lead. Well, as a striker yourself, Tony, you will have enjoyed the way those goals have been taken.
Yeah, the one that's just been scored, absolutely fantastic goal. I've written Gladbach off 3 times now, and they've come back from the dead 3 times. I just can't believe it.
Well, let's see if they can get another one now, Mönchengladbach. Still a minute and a half left. And they've gone back from seeming to be dead and out of this game at 2-1 down to leading by 3 goals to 2. But here's Nickel now for Eintracht Frankfurt. Laurent. Ementraud as they come forward again with Trapp, the substitute for Eintracht Frankfurt. Neuberger trying a long shot just over that crossbar. Well, a fullback who can really bang them in. And the trainer there, Friedel Rausch, on his feet there for Frankfurt, just chipped away, in fact, if anything. Maybe he was complaining it should have been a corner. Terrific shot, though, by Neuberger. And here's Kulik again, looking for a hat-trick, but he won't get it that way because he's fractionally offside. And we're about a half a minute from the end. Certainly the quality of the goals we've seen here tonight have been really exceptional. Maybe the first one only, that one that came from Nickel's bending corner, which may have been pushed in by the keeper, but probably was just touched there by Karga. But all the others have shown really exceptional finishing. And that one's knocked away by Schaefer for Mönchengladbach. The last seconds of the game now, with Mönchengladbach leading by 3 goals to 2. And Borchers trying to come in there, using a bit of elbows. He got up on Schaefer's there, and a free kick, which Kneib has already taken for Mönchengladbach, as Lehnen takes it up the line now for them. Played inside again for Kulik, who's been a real hero now for Mönchengladbach, with 2 goals and has captured a really inspirational display from the midfield. Neuberger. And now the number 12, Nachfrei. But it's all over, and the first leg has been won by Mönchengladbach by 3 goals to 2. Twice they were behind. There's goals coming from Kulik and Matthews, with Karga and Holzenbein scoring for Eintracht Frankfurt. Well, a really exhilarating final of attacking football, which leaves the second leg really well poised, with Mönchengladbach now to go to Frankfurt, defending a 1-goal lead. So as the crowd get their breath back and start to make their way home, a final score in this first leg then, Borussia Mönchengladbach 3, Eintracht Frankfurt 2.